H.G. Wells has been one of the most influential authors in science fiction. His books are still considered a fundamental part of the genre. This video will look at his red thread, a narrative thread that connects all his works and runs through the themes he explores. This video is a collaboration with the YouTube channel Science Fiction, A Human History, who will take over from now on.
Hello Authors Channel, thank you for having me on. Herbert George Wells is regarded as one of the greatest science fiction authors. Not only has he created some of the definitive works of the genre, but he's also responsible for giving us words like time machine, heat ray and fourth dimension. Originally working as a teacher, he used his background in the sciences to bring new technology to the masses, explaining complex ideas in ways that his readers could easily understand. And throughout his work, we see a red thread of evolution. Young Herbert studied Darwinism at the Popular School of Science. Seeing humanity as an evolving species opens up a myriad of questions, and Wells went on to explore these throughout his work. The Time Machine, his first novel, asks what humans might evolve into if social conflicts such as class and inequality aren't rectified. Thousands of years from now, civilization has split into two distinct races, representing the upper and working classes of the time. The Eloi are a beautiful race of humans that have evolved beyond the need to work. Through exploitation of the lower classes, they have everything they could ever need but are completely unable to look after themselves. We discover that they are being reared like cattle by the dreaded Morlocks, ape-like creatures that live in caves and come out at night to feed on the Eloi. They have been forced to work underground for centuries, stripping them of their humanity and robbing them of their ability to see in daylight. The Eloi and the Morlocks are supposed to represent the worst possible outcome for their forebears, a grim fable of things to come. Wells also looks at the implications of humanity's evolutionary past. If we were once animals, are we in danger of slipping back? In The Island of Dr. Moreau, the titular doctor forces evolution on the animals of the island. He cuts them open and sews them back together, all in an attempt to reshape them in his own image. The beast folk are forced to follow Moreau's rules for a so-called civilized existence and are forbidden from animalistic behaviour. The story shows us that humans and animals aren't that far removed and highlights the savage nature of man. Wells's most famous book, The War of the Worlds, looks at another possible outcome for human evolution. When the Martians arrive on Earth, they quickly overwhelm our armies with their technological superiority. However, physically, they're comparatively weak. The narrator explains that Martians were once like humans, but have now evolved into beings of pure intellect, all at the expense of their bodies. This turns out to be their undoing, and here Wells explores the science of evolution, with the downfall of the Martians coming from their exposure to the bacteria that life on Earth has evolved to live alongside. Evolution proposes that humanity is not the product of an all-powerful being, and Wells used this to expose our flaws and explore the possibilities for our future. His ability to seamlessly blend science with narrative is what makes his stories so readable a century after they were written, and he is well deserving of his title as one of the founding fathers of science fiction.
A huge thank you to Science Fiction, A Human History. You'll find a link to the channel in the description. In the description, I'll put a link to a couple of his books. I hope you check them out. Onward to the next author.